But he started to do that in like my vagina area. Surely that he wouldn't be trying to hurt me or anything. Like it was just funny. A lot of these young boys, they just don't know what it is to sexually assault someone. They don't know what it is to rape someone. A lot of boys are out here and they've committed, like they've raped someone and they don't realise. I don't think, how did you let this happen? I was petrified. Like I was literally like so, like I was like frozen. That is sexual assault. That is not okay. You do not put your hands on people that don't want you to put your hands on them. A lot of females in my life have been raped, have experienced sexual assault, and they know that, or they feel as though it's just pointless going to the law about it. I want to keep the conversation going about this because it's just a lot more common than people know. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about something that's a lot more serious today. As most of you may know, if you don't, there's been a lot of discussion around the topic that is sexual assault, sexual abuse in the media as of late, due to a lot of victims who are celebrities coming forward about, you know, their experiences in Hollywood, having to put up with certain things in the workplace, things that just happen and they get brushed under the rug because that's just how it is. But now a lot of people are coming forward and letting it be known that they won't stand for this. A lot of victims are uniting against, a huge amount of people are coming forward and standing their ground in regards to this issue. And I watched In the Fro's video on this, and she said that she wants to keep the conversation going, and I feel the same. I want to keep the conversation going about this because it's just a lot more common than people know. I remember growing up and like telling male friends, you know, like, this is what I say to a boy that wants to talk to me and I don't want him to talk to me. My male friends would say, well, why don't you just be honest with him and tell him you're not interested? And I used to just look at him like, that just ain't how, that just can't go, that, you know, you just never know how people gonna take that. So you just avoid saying that, you know? Yeah, like I have a couple of incidences that have happened to me that I think about when I think about this. So yeah, like I'm involved in this. A lot of girls, most girls that I know have had to deal with this. It's a bigger issue than people realise, and that people are finally making it a thing, making it a problem. I feel like a lot of things in society were normal up until someone said, no, that's a problem. Just like raping your wife, or, you know, like certain things that people just thought, oh, that's not that serious, until someone put their foot down, or a group of people put their foot down and said, no, like, that's a problem, that's not okay, that shouldn't be acceptable. And I feel like this is one of those things, and I'm all for creating a better world for my future sons and daughters. So I hope that this video helps in raising awareness that sexual assault is not okay, what sexual assault is, because a lot of people don't realise that they are just getting too up in people's faces, even at work, or getting too even on transport, and it's just like, okay, like, you need to know what's what, and you need to just, I'm just gonna share my stories, and yeah, let's get on with it. So the first thing that comes to mind is this incident that happened when I was in secondary school. I was in year 10. I had just moved from a girls' school to a boys' school, and I feel like this really toxic thing happened where I had never really been around boys this much. I have male family friends, but like I grew up in a predominantly female household, so I don't really know what boys are like really. I just knew that boys like girls and girls like boys, and boys went out with girls. Boys have penises, girls have vaginas, like literally that's all I knew. I didn't really know how boys like moved, like, you know, females who grew up around boys will understand what I mean when I say I don't know how boys are, kind of thing. So when I went to school and I started seeing how boys are, like just grabbing bums and being really cheeky, being really forceful and aggressive, like I never really saw that as a problem. Starting then on forward, like I never saw that as a problem, because I thought, okay, well, this is my first introduction to what boys are like. This is just what boys are like, and whatever. one day I went to science, and yeah, like I used to usually sit by myself in science because I just wanted to sit by myself in science. I was cool with everyone in the class, but I just sat by myself in science. So I went in science, sat in the front, put my bag down, whatever. And then like I had a male friend who, I wouldn't say friend, he's an acquaintance, but we were really cool, like really friendly. That applies to most people at school, to be honest, but yeah, like he was behind me, he had like a big afro, and I remember like going over like back there, I think he was calling my name, yeah, he was calling my name, because at that time, like, it was like year 10, look, all the boys were like really, they would sexualize any little thing that you did, like, I don't know if this is normal, whether everyone in school, in other mixed schools did this, but yeah, like, I got glasses, so they were like, oh, you're a sexy secretary, and I was just like, go away, like, you know, it's just a part of like the routine, like, oh, like, every day it was something like, oh, look at your skirt, oh, shut up, Jermaine, you know, like, it's just a part of school. So yeah, like, I went over to him, and I was just like having banter with him. It was like a whole table full of boys, and I went over there, I was just like having jokes with them, like, oh, stop it, man. And he had a big afro, and I started like to touch his hair, like, because it's not uncommon for boys and girls in South London schools, like for girls to do boys' hair or just to like touch boys' hair or whatever. I was just like, oh, your hair's nice, da, 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 like, oh, you're gonna camera it, I don't know, like, just talking. And this was like all happened within the space of like a minute. And then I remember him taking his afro comb out of his hair, yeah, and I don't know whether this was like a premeditated conversation, but he took his afro comb out of his hair, and okay, this is a bit graphic, I don't know if it's graphic, I don't know anyway, and he started to like stab me with the afro comb. I don't know why I'm laughing, I don't find it funny, it's just like, what kind of thing? Like, he just started to do that with the afro comb, but he started to do that in like my vagina area. So basically, like, he was sat down because it was really high chairs. He was sat down and I was standing up, and I was his height while he was sat down because I was short. So, and then he like grabbed his afro comb, he started doing that, and like everyone, like all the boys on that table were laughing, and I was like, what are you doing that for? Like, I got really pissed off, like, I was like, what are you doing that for? Kind of thing, like, and I was like, what the hell? But I felt really awkward, like I couldn't get too mad kind of thing, because surely like he wouldn't be trying to hurt me or anything, like it was just funny, you know? So I didn't think I would be getting emotional about this, because I never have. Anyway, so then I walked back over to the, like, my seat was basically, science is weird, like science has blocks of tables, squares and that, and then there's like a big row in the front that's just like one row. So I would always sit in the front row because my vision was really bad. And my science teacher, he saw the whole thing, and he was like, oh, what just happened over there? I was like, oh, like, nothing, it's fine, like, whatever, it's fine. He goes, no, that's not all right. What just happened? And I said, nothing, sir, it's fine, don't worry about it, whatever. None of my girls like was in class with me. It was all loads of people that I was really cool with, but none of my like, girls was in class with me. So he was like, so that I had no one to really like, I don't know, to talk about it with, because I didn't think, at the time I didn't think it was a big deal, because I know the guy, and I would think like he wouldn't want to hurt me or anything, so it's not like, I'm sure he didn't realise how much that hurt me, like, so whatever, and my science teacher was not having it, and he made me write a statement down then and there. I think the class began and the boys didn't realise that the conversation we had in the front of the classroom, even though like the tables were really nearby, but he made me write a statement, and he wouldn't let me leave at the end of the class until I'd written a statement. So I think like 2 weeks down the line, the boys came up to me like in a big group, like, what did you tell about me? Like, the guy came up to me like, what did you say about me? And I was like, I didn't say anything about you. This is not someone who's intimidating, just to let you know. It's like one of the funny ones at school, if you can get my gist. There's like the intimidating boys that are kind of like, ooh, like sexy, but like intimidating. And there's like just the funny guys, like just a group of funny guys kind of thing. He came up to me like, yeah, what did you say about me? And I was like, I didn't say anything about you, like, me and you're cool. He's like, well, I'm getting in trouble for the other day. And I was like, well, like, he made me write a statement down because he saw what happened, and he thought that he forced me to write it down. Like, I remember just justifying myself for like having to write a statement down and about the whole ordeal kind of thing. So yeah, that's the first vivid thing that happened to me, that I think, I wouldn't say the first, but the thing that comes to mind, the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to sexual assault. Obviously now as an adult, looking back at it, I wasn't at fault anywhere. I will say, like, I don't feel like the boys knew what they were doing, like the extent of what they were doing, how much it could get them in trouble, how much it could hurt me. Maybe they knew, I don't know, like maybe I'm looking at the bright side, like I'm looking in, like, to see the niceness in people, I don't know. But I do feel like, especially where I come from, like the schools that I went to, like I'm from South London, in the UK, and boys, like a lot of these young boys, they just don't know what it is to sexually assault someone. They don't know what it is to rape someone. A lot of boys are out here and they've committed, like they've raped someone, and they don't realise that's what happened. It wasn't 100% consensual, and you know, you've assaulted me sexually, you could get in big trouble for that. And I think that's what happened in that case. My teacher took it to wherever he took it, and the guy ended up being like on sexual something. Like, I don't honestly, the memory of it is really vivid, and I don't want the guy to pop up and be like, no, that's not true. But from what the boy told me, or gossip or whatever, the guy ended up being listed as sexual offenders or something. I don't know, something, not sexual offenders, but something like not so grave. I don't know. I really wish I could remember the specifics, but he got in big trouble for that. So yeah, like at the time, I just didn't really feel anything really, like, because I didn't feel violated. I just felt like it hurt me because it physically hurt me. It was an Afro-comb, like those Afro-combs that have like the arm that goes like this, and then there's like things that come out, and he repeatedly stabbed me in my vagina with that. And it makes no sense, and I feel like it was something, a chit chat they had before or something, like, oh, we're there, or they lured me over there, and it was like a little private joke, because they were like a bunch of like funny, creepy, kind of weird but funny kind of boys kind of thing, like, so maybe, I don't know, but that's the first instance of sexual assault. That was in year 10. And the second thing that comes to mind really, is this takes place in broad daylight, probably like 2 o'clock on a Saturday, super busy road. I used to live down the road from like a super busy main road. I used to live opposite a hospital and a fire brigade, like, and near a fire brigade and next to a police station. So like, yeah, like it's a very busy road, and loads of buses walking by, whatever. I'm waiting for the bus because I'm literally like getting a bus to go see my friends, and this is down the road from my house. A man comes up to me, like a fair-skinned man, very tattooed, way older than me. This is like, I'm probably 15 and he's like 28 looking, 28 plus. He looked high as well. Way older than me, starts asking me loads of questions. Mind you, like, I'm still kind of, okay, I don't want to say, because I just went to a mixed school, like I don't know how to talk to boys and that, but I was still like at the stage where I'm not 100% like myself around men and boys kind of thing. Like I'm like a little bit more subdued, a little bit more timid. So when men approach me, like I was always very uncomfortable. I think most girls are when they're that young. So he approached me, and I knew straight away he was way older than me, and I got a vibe that he was trying to chat to me. By me saying he was trying to chat to me, like he was trying to, you know, chat to me. So yeah, like he was just asking me hello, like I said hello. He didn't look like, okay, he didn't look like an uncle. He looked like a drunkard. Like but he wasn't drunk, but he just looked like someone who was a bit wayward. This is me judging, because he was just a mess. Like his outfit was a mess. Like he just looked a mess. So as soon as he approached me, I was a bit like scared. Yeah, he was just asking me what my name is, how old I am, and I told him my age, and I told him that I was waiting for my bus and I was going to go see my friends. He said, oh really? I said, yeah. He goes, oh, you should give me your number. So I wrote down, I don't know whether I wrote down my number or a fake number, but he never contacted me, so it probably was a fake number. And yeah, and then he was like, oh, you're really beautiful. And then next thing I know, right, because I was standing up at the bus stop, next thing I know, within the course of this conversation, I had like found my way to the bench, and then he comes and he joins me on the bench. This guy picks me up, right, and I don't even know. You're probably thinking, how did you let this happen? I was petrified. Like I was literally like so, like I was like frozen. Like I'm one of them people that when like if I'm about to get hit by a car, I will freeze in the middle of the road. Like I don't know why. I was petrified, so I just froze, and he picked me up, put me on his lap. He started like caressing my neck. He had his hands near my vagina. He had his like, I don't know how many hands he had. Like he had his hand like on my bum. He was like, I think it was like, he was smelling my neck, or he was like trying to kiss my neck. I didn't feel him kiss my neck, but he was trying to smell my neck. And it was just really, like it was weird. Like it was like, I don't know, he was just squeezing me as well. And buses were going by, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? Like this is the weirdest, like this is one of the weirdest things that's ever happened. I was like, in my head I was like, what the hell is going on? So he got, honestly, I don't know why. I feel like this is like a psychological thing where like if you don't want to remember something because it's a bad memory, you forget it. Like, because I don't know why I can't give you like specific details of this. It was a long time ago. But yeah, like he, probably about 5-6 years ago, yeah. But yeah, and then next thing I know, he goes, oh, I'll call you, and he just goes off, and I'm just like, what the hell just happened? And I feel like this is from the culture of me having gone to the mixed school and having decided like boys are a certain way, that's just how they are, and men are a certain way and that's just how they are. Like, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. I just knew that it wasn't okay for him to like touch me and grab me and rub up on me. The main thing I was worried about was the fact that we was so close to my parents' home, and like in a neighborhood where we have family friends, I have friends, I live here, I go to school here, so like being seen out in public doing all of that. I'm not in relationships, I don't even like public display of affection. I don't even want you to kiss me, like I will do a peck real quick, like, and like, you know, I don't even do all that. So when all that was happening, I was thinking the whole time, like, you know, like my African self, like my African antennas are like, ooh, just about to get, you know, and I wouldn't want, you know, like, I don't know, like that was the main thing. But now, as an adult, I knew it was bad. I just didn't think it was such a huge deal. Now, as an adult, like I realised that that is sexual assault. That is not okay. You do not put your hands on people that don't want you to put your hands on them. Obviously, if I go up to a guy, grab him on the shoulder, and say, "Hi, sir, would you like to try?" You know, like a sim only. You know, like if I'm working and I'm like, you know, saying hello, like, or tapping people on the shoulder. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about grabbing people in private places, holding people, you know, out, like, and they don't want to be held there, like it's not their will to be there, kind of thing. That is not okay. That is assault. That can get you in trouble with the law. Now, the way that the judicial system treats sexual abuse victims and sexual assault victims, like I honestly, is really a disgrace. It's really disgraceful. It's unfortunate for me to say, a lot of females in my life have been raped, have experienced sexual assault, but rape specifically, they've been raped, and they know that, or they feel as though it's just pointless going to the law about it. And the main thing also is like, I don't know why, but like they take the boy into consideration and think like maybe he didn't know what he was doing. And you know what, like I don't want to sit here and act like men don't need to be really taught about sexual assault, you know, like there's a lot of misogyny. A lot of you guys grew up with whatever, like somehow parents, somehow fathers, without anything, and you really don't know what's what. But at the end of the day, somebody's been affected by this act and they've been scarred for the rest of their lives. It will never leave them, and there has to be repercussions for that. So I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that is basically my experience with sexual abuse and sexual assault. One thing I would say out there is, if you've experienced sexual abuse or sexual assault, I would encourage you to go and speak to someone that you trust about it. Release it, get it off your chest. If you feel like it's affected your life, if you pinpoint and you think back to since that event occurred, and how your life has unfolded, or how it's affected you and your morale and your personality and anything from your outgoingness or whatever to today, and if you feel like it's been a bit of like a correlation with unhappiness since the event has happened, I would really advise you to seek professional help, treatment, therapy. You know, these are not things for crazy people. Like these are, I wish I could afford to get myself like a psychologist or like a therapist, but obviously you could get a lot of help through the NHS, but only for a certain period of time. And I would, like, if it was up to me, like I would have like therapy like today till every week till I die, because it's not just about going to see someone when you're severely sick. It's about prevention and keeping your mind, you know, purged, and keeping your mind purged is a dramatic word, keeping your mind keeping your mind sane, releasing things, you know, speaking to someone through your issues. I would really seriously encourage you to please speak to someone about it. Please seek help about it. You're not alone. This is unfortunately ridiculously common. I mean, if I think back to my aunties, my mum and my cousins maybe, statistics wise, you know, half of us have probably experienced sexual abuse or sexual assault, and that's probably the truth. Because if I look at my friends, I mean, maybe out of a lot of people that I know, I don't know, like out of 20 people, maybe only 2 haven't experienced sexual assault or sexual abuse. Young men need to be, like they shouldn't be left out of the conversation, because that's why a lot of young men think it's not a big deal and it's being over dramatized, because they're not in the conversation. You guys need to be in the conversation. You need to know that this is happening. If you're watching this and you're my friend, you need to know that I've been affected by this. There might be stuff that's gone on that, you know, maybe I'm not ready to share yet, you know, or you know, like someone that you love in your life has been through things that they just haven't shared with you. Your mum or your auntie, maybe your grandmother, you know, times were like way worse then, you know, so it's way likelier, you know, and it's a big issue. You need to step in if you see something inappropriate happening. Don't just watch. Londoners love doing this thing where they just watch, and it's, you know, you're watching people die. Like, this is something that could really affect someone for the rest of their lives. Even when people are being slut shamed and people are being, you know, like insulted, dragged up and down the internet, you know, I know that's a different topic, but nonetheless, it all relates to just being human and being compassionate. Put yourself in that person's shoes, put your sister in that person's shoes, you know, like, I don't know, I'm gonna stop because I'm like ranting, but I hope that, I just need this conversation to keep happening. I need young boys and young girls to be taught about consent, what is consent, and what is abuse, what is assault. You know, don't do it. You know, I feel like it's something that should have been taught in schools. A lot should have been taught in schools. That wasn't, child. But yeah, that's all I have. That's it. That's it from me. Thank you guys for watching. I know this was a bit of a gloomier video, but I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had. If you want to laugh, check out my recent video. It's a Bean Boozled challenge. My last couple videos have been funny-ish, so check them out. I'll leave them linked somewhere here. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and thumbs up this video to keep the hashtag going, to keep the topic in motion. And yeah, like, I love you guys and I really appreciate your support. If you're watching this out there, just know that you are not alone. I know how you feel, okay? I've been through it too. Me too.